Hey, and a very good morning, fellow dreamers. How are you doing today? We are back on the allotment. Nicole is with me, as always, and we actually have a few tasks we need to do today. And also, we're just gonna chat about what's coming up because it's February, it's the first today. So I'm actually recording right now. It needs to go online later today. But yeah, a lot to do and a lot to chat about. So let's get started. Let's start out with a tea and a tour around the allotment. There's been a few changes and I just want to give you guys an update on that. First off, the wood chips arrived. We got another 15,000 liters of wood chips and we've been laying a path already. We connected the vegetable garden and the cut flower garden all the way to the greenhouse. So this is now completely done. And we also added an extra layer on quite a big part of the cut flower garden already. And we also added some wood chips right around the beds of the vegetable gardens. Now that the path is connected, it feels a little bit more like it's united instead of two fronts. So really happy with that. Let's look at some other stuff that we did. Something that's maybe not that interesting, but I did add fleece over the broad beans. They just seemed like they needed a little bit more protection because it was freezing -6 last night. The days before the -6, we actually had an insane amount of rain. And it was so much that all the land was starting to get filled up with water. And I decided to just make a trench, make sure that we have a runoff for the water because the water was inside of the greenhouse. So I decided to dig a trench all the way to the water to make sure it runs away. It was a lot of work, but we're actually gonna put in some irrigation tubes in here. So I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger and a little bit deeper so we have a runoff from the water of the greenhouse and make it all the way over here to make sure that it goes to the water so that it's not gonna flood our land when it's raining a lot. All right, that was our little update around the garden. The tea is gone, let's get to work. To start off, let's warm up a little bit by working really hard, by shoveling some compost and also some wood chips and creating a few more cut flower beds. Let's go. So while Nicole is busy with the cut flower bed, I actually wanted to take some time out and start with our raised bed. This is just one, and I'm probably gonna change the size later on, but I wanted to start it anyway because I want to do more videos on small scale gardening, square foot gardening as well. I decided to put at least 2 beds over here. I'm just gonna check. There'll be a trellis system over here and it's gonna be about 180. So I want to see where's my shadow gonna be. And the same goes for the other vegetable beds over there. We don't want to cast the shadow on that because we're also going to use a little bit of a trellis system for tomatoes and peas on the square foot gardening. So I'm going to just measure it out and set it out, and then we can start building our first raised bed on the allotment. Figured out the position of the raised bed. It's gonna be a little bit next to the pathway. I don't want to connect it completely, and we'll have another one right next to here and maybe another one. I'm thinking about 3 in total. Let's get building. It's filled up completely. I did use the shampost. I just wanted to see how much it was degraded already inside, so I dug down a little bit. It's actually looking not too bad. In a month or so, definitely are able to use it on all the rest of the land So I'm just gonna let it sit for a little bit more. This is filled up about 12.5 to 15 centimeters. So we can just let this sit and actually start using it already if we want to, but I don't want to just yet because I don't have anything to go in. Let's head inside into the greenhouse and let's chat about what we can do for February, the coming month, because there's a lot of projects that we still need to tackle before the year begins. Right, some tea again. We actually figured out that we can have some tea here, so really comfy. It's still quite cold outside, so it's great to have something to hold on to and keep your hands warm. Now, I just wanted to sit down and chat about all the chores that are coming up in February. It's mainly seeding, a lot of seeding, and not really planting anything outside, but next to seeding, we need to prepare the rest of the allotment. In March is actually the time where I will be transplanting a lot outside, and if you want to know when and what, you can look online, thefarmdream.com, and look at the sowing calendar. I actually put it up there so you guys can grow along with me. So just a heads up, February, we're gonna start quite a few things. So if you want to join in on that, look online and see what we're starting. Next to creating all the beds for the allotment and all the vegetable beds, I want to put in the trellis system to grow the peas and the beans, the climbing beans, in between the cut flower garden and the vegetable garden, and also create some height in the gardens because that just looks way better. Next to that, the irrigation, I do want to try and get that in as well because I want to make sure that the water stays out of my beds a little bit better. I actually had water inside of the greenhouse, a bit too much for me. So we're going to try and get that in as well, but we need to dig a little bit further. February is also the composting. I want to start on the composting bin as soon as we can, and I actually found some pallets finally. I couldn't find the right size and just kept on looking, found the right size, so definitely gonna start with that. Composting is one of those things that you just need to get started with straight away to make sure you get enough for the next year. Now, I will definitely need to buy some more compost later on because probably we're gonna try and get 4 or 5 bins, and that's probably not enough to make all the compost for the entire allotment, but anything that we can create ourselves just helps out. Also for February, we wanna fix up the shed a little bit and get it in ready shape, sort of, so that we can actually use it, put a rain gutter, you know, simple things that just need to be fixed, add some doors, put some locks on it so that we can leave stuff in there instead of taking everything home every time. Also, I'm looking for IBCs, the big, giant, 1,000-liter storage for water, so we can add that to the back here of the greenhouse. Now, another thing that I want to look into in February is the polytunnel. I'm not sure if I want to build it this year, but I do want to look into it. I found one online that's actually not too expensive, and it's the right size. It's 6x4, 24 square meters, which is actually quite a lot to begin with, and I think that will be fine for us. That's probably the one we're gonna get, or I'm gonna build it myself, and if I do, then of course I will make a video about it. If you guys have any ideas on polytunnels, let me know in the description. I want to do some research, but if you have any tips, let me know. I think that's basically it for February. We have a few seeding plans we need to get in, and we also need to create the beds, so we're ready for March to put everything in there. But it's actually, other than that, it's no need to do, but it's just a lot I want to do. We've been working really hard to get this to this point, and I don't want to stop now and not have it already on time. So that's the plans. I'm just gonna take you guys along for the ride, like always. Of course, we also need to finish off the cut flower garden. There's a few more beds to create there, and I'm just gonna try and help out Nicole as much as I can. It's just a lot of work, and we both need to do work on both sides of the garden, so we try to help each other. She helps me film, I helped her film as well. If you wanna grow along with Nicole, you should check out her Instagram. I'll put it down there. That was it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, consider joining the community by subscribing to the channel, and don't forget to live the farm dream. You know, it's sometimes really silly to just talk to a camera. I know somebody is out there, maybe. I don't know. Are you there? Are you? All right. Have a good one, guys.